Hey everyone, and welcome back to Nerd Stuff and Things. Check your calendars. Do you realize what today is? Let me give you a hint. Remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Guy Fawkes and his companions did the scheme contrive to blow the king and parliament all up alive. 70 barrels of powder below to prove old England's overthrow. But by God's providence, him they catch with a dark lantern lighting a match. A stick and a stake for King James' sake. If you won't give me one, I'll take two. The better for me and the worse for you. That's right. We're diving deep into a world of oppressive governments, revolutionary ideas, and one unforgettable masked figure. We are talking about V for Vendetta. More than just a comic or movie, V for Vendetta is a masterclass in weaving real history with chilling dystopian lore. And today we are going to pull back the curtain on two core elements: the real historical event that inspired V and the terrifying, meticulously crafted government he fights against: Norsefire. To understand V, you first have to understand Guy Fawkes. Most people know him as the face of the mask, but his story goes back over 400 years to England in 1605. Imagine a country in turmoil. King James I, a Protestant, was on the throne, and Catholics in England faced severe persecution. A group of 13 desperate Catholic conspirators, led by Robert Catesby, devised a radical plan to blow up the House of Parliaments during the state opening, assassinating the king and many of his nobility, and sparking a Catholic rebellion. The man tasked with lighting the fuse, a seasoned explosive expert named Guy Fawkes. On November 5th, 1605, he was found in the cellars beneath Parliament guarding 36 barrels of gunpowder. The plot was discovered, Fawkes was caught, brutally tortured, and eventually executed. This failed act of religious motivated terrorism didn't bring down the state. It actually solidified anti Catholic sentiment for centuries and birthed a new tradition: Bonfire Night, where effigies of Guy Fawkes are burned, celebrating the saving of the monarchy. Remember the 5th of November, gunpowder treason and plot. Now, here's where V for Vendetta twists history into something entirely new. V doesn't resurrect Guy Fawkes as a Catholic avenger. Instead, he co opts the historical symbol. He takes an event originally celebrated as the moment the state was saved and transforms it into a cry for revolution against the state. V is not Guy Fawkes. He is the idea of Guy Fawkes. His mask, his archaic speech, his obsession with November 5th, these are all deliberate, theatrical choices. He sacrifices his personal identity to become an indestructible symbol of an idea: vengeance, freedom, and anarchy. He weaponizes history, turning a warning into a promise. But who is V fighting? Let's turn our attention to the chilling, plausible, dystopian state known as Norsefire. This isn't just a generic bad guy, it is a meticulously crafted police state built on fear and historical echoes. Norsefire rose to power in a world reeling from global catastrophe. While the specifics vary slightly between the comic and the film, a nuclear war and an environmental collapse, or a deadly virus in its aftermath, the outcome is the same. The United Kingdom is left isolated, weakened, and terrified. Into this vacuum of chaos and fear, Norsefire emerged, promising order, security, and a return to traditional values. Sound familiar? This mirrors the rise of real world fascist and totalitarian regimes throughout history, which often capitalize on societal collapse and public desperation. Alan Moore, the comics writer, drew inspiration from the political climate of the 1980s in Britain under Margaret Thatcher, seeing elements that could lead to authoritarianism. The film, released post 9/11, updated these fears with themes of pervasive surveillance and a war on terror, used to justify government overreach. At the head of this terrifying regime is High Chancellor Adam Sutler, a name that clearly invokes Adolf Hitler. Sutler rules from behind screens, a disembodied voice of absolute power, a classic trope of the all seeing, all controlling dictator.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! Is your closet full of dorky clothes? Are your shirts looking kinda lame? Don't have a cow, because it's time to power up your style. Nerd Stuff and Things merch is here to make you look totally rad. Check out the gear! These shirts are so soft, it's like wearing a cloud on a Saturday morning cartoon marathon. And the designs? They cover all your favorite fandoms, from retro games to anime history. Stop loafing! Supplies are totally limited and selling faster than a speed run. You gotta have this gear before the window closes. Don't miss out on being the coolest nerd on the block. Click the link below and get your Nerd Stuff and Things merch right now.
But the true horror of Norsefire is its pervasive surveillance and control personified by its government branches, chillingly named after body parts. The head, Sutler's inner circle, the brain of the operation; the eye, the ambiguous video surveillance, the CCTV cameras that are everywhere; the ear, the audio surveillance, listening to every phone call and conversation; the nose, the secret police, the investigators like Inspector Finch, tasked with rooting out dissent; the finger, the uniformed police, the brute force of the regime enforcing its laws without question. This systematic dehumanization, turning government into a monstrous organism, highlights how every aspect of life is controlled. But every dystopia has a dark heart, a central atrocity that fuels its evil. For Norsefire, that is a Lark Hill resettlement camp. This isn't just a prison, it's where homosexuals, political dissenters, ethnic minorities, anyone deemed a threat were sent. Lark Hill is Norsefire's dirty secret, their unacknowledged genocide. It directly parallels the concentration camps of Nazi Germany, a horrifying reminder of what happens when absolute power is unchecked. And it's here in Room V that our hero, the man who would become V, was held, experimented on, and ultimately transformed by fire and injustice he endured. Lark Hill is the mystery that gives V his purpose, his ultimate drive for vengeance. So, why does understanding this blend of real history and chilling lore matter? Because V for Vendetta isn't just a thrilling story, it's a grand theatrical history lesson. By invoking Guy Fawkes, V reminds us that even the most formidable, all encompassing government, whether it's 17th century monarchy or 21st century totalitarianism, is ultimately built on symbols, on fear, and on the consent of the governed. If that consent is withdrawn, if those symbols are shattered, then even the most absolute power can be overthrown. V for Vendetta serves as a powerful reminder. Remember the past, understand the present, and never forget that while governments can inspire fear, an idea like freedom, like vengeance, can be truly bulletproof. What do you think about the historical connections in V for Vendetta? Did you know the real story of Guy Fawkes? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and are interested in nerd stuff and things, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and remember, underneath this mask, there is more than just flesh. There is an idea, Mr. Creedy, and ideas are bulletproof.